After years of remodeling homes across Cache Valley, there are things I wish every homeowner knew about their project before we ever broke ground. Not because homeowners do anything wrong, but because the more you understand going into the project, the smoother it goes and the better the outcome is for everyone. The single biggest thing I wish homeowners knew is how important it is to know what you want before we begin your project. And I don't mean every little finished detail picked out before day one. I mean knowing what you want the space to do, how you want it to function, what your priorities are. Because once we're on site and the work has already begun, any change in the scope is going to cost you money. And I know it could feel surprising in the moment. We're already there. The walls are already open. It seems like it should just be easy to add or change something. But every change means new materials to be ordered, a shift in labor schedules, administrative time to process the change order. And sometimes work that has already been done needs to be undone in order to accommodate the change. Look, change orders are a normal part of remodeling. And frankly, we handle them all the time. But the fewer there are, the better your budget holds and the closer we stay to the original timeline. The planning phase is when decisions should happen, not after demo day. Along those same lines, I always recommend building a contingency into your budget before the project even starts. 10 to 15% minimum. Because no matter how well we plan, sometimes we open up a wall or dig under the earth and find something that nobody expected. Old wiring that's out of code, cast iron piping that needs to be replaced, moisture damage that's been building for years behind drywall, and structural issues that weren't visible during the time we were estimating. None of that shows up until we're already in it. And all of that costs money to address when it does. A contingency budget means that those discoveries aren't going to stop your project in its tracks. And if you don't end up needing it, that's a win. If you do end up needing it, you're covered and the project keeps on moving. Now here's something I want to be honest about because I think it really matters. Timelines are real. We build them carefully and we take them seriously. But sometimes things happen that are genuinely out of our control. If the scope changes mid-project, the timeline is going to change. That's just math. And even when everything is locked in and running smoothly, material suppliers can still have lead times that shift. Subcontractors have schedules that get affected by other jobs, and unexpected weather can affect certain phases of work. These are things we manage as best we can. We communicate when something changes, and we adjust to keep the project moving. But I want homeowners to understand going in that the timeline is a plan, not a guarantee. The best thing that you can do to protect your timeline is to lock in your decisions early and avoid changes once the project is underway. If your project requires permits, and most significant remodels will, factor in at least 2 weeks minimum just for the permitting process alone. Some projects take longer. A more complex addition or structural changes can take 4 to 6 weeks, depending on the city that's handling the permits. But even on a straightforward, simple project, 2 weeks is the floor. We pull permits on every project that requires them, no exceptions. It protects you as the homeowner, it protects the work long term, and it protects us and our reputation as a licensed contractor. So when you're thinking about your project timeline, add that permitting window. Don't plan around it, plan for it. One last thing, and this makes a bigger difference than most people realize. Come to your consultation prepared. You don't need to have every finish selected, you don't need architectural drawings, but know your budget range going in. Have some inspirational photos pulled up. Know what you want your space to look like when it's finished. The more clarity you bring to that first meeting, the more accurate your estimate is going to be. And a more accurate estimate means less surprises later on. It means a scope that actually matches your goals. It means we spend that consultation time instead of starting from scratch on what you're even trying to accomplish. The homeowners who come in prepared consistently have smoother projects. That's not a coincidence. None of this is meant to scare you off of a remodel. A well-planned project with the right contractor is one of the best and biggest investments you can make into your home. But going into it with realistic expectations makes the whole experience better. So if you're getting ready to remodel in Cache Valley and you want to have an honest conversation before you even commit, go ahead and reach out. We'll walk through all of it with you.